will go to fucking zero.
And as I said, you know who's behind Bitcoin? Putin.
Since Bitcoin has more than tripled in the intervening 3 years, and Pantera Bitcoin Fund is up more than 69,000%, I, of course, had to invite both men back to check in. Dan Moorhead, who started his career at Goldman Sachs, is founder and CEO of Pantera Capital. Vivek Wadhwa, I think Dan is probably here for a victory lap. If that's true, is it premature?
It's as valuable as casino chips are. And it's exactly what this is.
It's a Ruski conspiracy to fuck up the American economy and the world. It's a long-range plan he started 7-8 years ago. He's going to see the demise of the Western financial world while he's still the head of Russia. And he's already hacked into the brains of all the morons, you YouTubers.
Investors that are investing in it today aren't investing in it because it's great for buying a cup of coffee today. They're investing in it because it's going to disrupt finance, payments, all these industries. And 10 years from now, it will be good for buying a cup of coffee.
Yeah, there's a fear of missing out right now. And that's how bubbles go. The big tulip, the Dutch tulip bubble, it was the same way.
3, 2, 1, and liftoff of Space Shuttle Discovery.
Don't you know, pump it up. You got to pump it up. Don't you know, pump it up. You got to pump it up. Don't you know, pump it up. You got to pump it up. Don't you know, pump it up. You got to pump it up.
Boom. We're live.
What's going on? What's going on, Josh? Yin, what's
up,
going
guys?
on, brothers?
What's up? How you doing?
All right, guys. So my mic, my normal mic,
Yeah,
it broke. So I got this thing right now. All right. Can you guys hear me? All right.
Yeah, you're coming in hot, real
Okay,
hot.
good.
Super professional.
Miami
Very
hot.
nice.
All right, boys. So CBDCs. Where should we start?
All right, let's break down the acronym because we have some boomers. Got people raiding you for my chat. So CBDCs, central bank digital currencies, right? So that's what we're going to talk about today, right? So we reviewed last time the WhiteHouse.gov, and the U.S. said that they just came out there and fucking said it. They said, hey, we're doing a digital dollar. That's part of our priorities. We're going to establish regulations. We're going to establish laws. This is what we want to do. We want to regulate this. Let's go. So where we at?
Well, it looks like we went from conspiracy theory to conspiracy fact overnight, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
All over again. It's the whole wax all over again. The whole
Those crazy people.
everything.
All right, so Go ahead, Jen.
I was gonna say everything that we said last year for the most part is just slowly but surely coming into fruition. It's crazy. It's almost like we know what we're talking about.
Yeah, it's kind of like having like a crystal ball, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely not common sense at all.
No.
Definitely.
I mean, it's just like, okay, that's the obvious use, right? The obvious use is with a government. The obvious use is a government using, the blockchain. It's a clear. I'm still recovering from yesterday. I got so lit on stream, on the St. Patrick's stream. It was like a St. Patrick's Day / Purim because the guy I was on with was Jewish. I was fucking litty. I also was in a hoodie, and my hoodie personality is now Adam. So whenever I'm wearing a hoodie, it's Adam. Whenever I'm in a suit, it's
I saw people in the chat saying, "Where's Adam at?" And I was like,
"Yeah." They're like, "We need to get Adam. We need to get Adam for this." I'm like, "Bro, Adam is offline this weekend. Adam got fucked up yesterday. I had a bunch of soju and beer. I was so fucked up. You might call me the Federal Reserve. That's how fucked up I was."
Hey, can you bring Adam to Miami when you come?
Oh, bro, Adam's gonna be litty in Miami. I'm so pumped to be down there with you guys. It's gonna be fucking great. But federal government or Federal Reserve digital coins. Why not both?
Yeah.
Why not?
All right. So
both?
he brings up a good question. Can anyone in here and anyone in the chat, if you guys can answer this too, who owns the Federal Reserve? Does anybody know that?
We know that it's private. It's privatized.
Does anyone know who owns it though?
There's what isn't there? Owns?
Yeah.
Don't they have a level of autonomy like that?
Yeah.
Because they have a certain level of autonomy. So ownership is a weird word. Obviously, right? Because obviously it was established by Congress. So theoretically, right? Theoretically, the U.S. government could disband the Federal Reserve. Theoretically.
Right. Well, because they have Andrew Jackson kicked out
Yeah.
the Second Bank of America, right?
Right.
But yeah, so the reason I asked that is because I don't even know. I mean, I have like I have some tinfoil hat theories on it, but nobody really knows like the answer to that question, which is kind of fucking weird, right?
Well, it's kind of weird because like you got the member banks, so like you would actually say like that the member banks kind of own it because the Fed is its member banks. You are the constituents. So if all the member banks collectively take up the Federal Reserve. Right here, there's a quote I'm reading, which is from political science professor Michael D. Reagan. I don't know, this might be a bad quote, but he says, the ownership of the reserve banks by the commercial banks is symbolic. They do not exercise the proprietary control associated with the concept of ownership nor share beyond the statutory dividend. In the reserve bank profits, bank ownership and election at the base are therefore devoid of substantive significance, despite the superficial appearance of private bank control that the formal arrangement creates. So what that is saying in terms that makes sense to people other than Mitch McConnell and the elites there is that they don't want you to think the private banks control it, but they really have a shitload of say in it. And frankly, they have practical control. So there's like de jure and de facto. So de jure is by law, de facto is reality, right? What is going on in reality? De jure, yeah, the US government has control, right? Theoretically, Congress has control. De facto, the banks have control. They have the money.
Yep. It's like it's just like with Hex. That's how I look at it. That's how I look at it.
You're blowing smoke on Hex, baby. You're gonna bring so much hate on Josh's channel right now.
Yeah, dude, you're gonna bring those people over here, and they're gonna get all angry.
Hexagons.
No comment.
Scott's gonna be over here hating on you.
Yep, yeah, he probably will.
My take is very nuanced.
Yeah,
I promise.
I think that the fact that there's just like no clear like delineated ownership. It's just proxy on top of a proxy on top of a proxy, right? And I think one could argue that it's intentionally confusing, but to the guy who asked the question, do we mean like Federal Reserve owned digital currency or federal government? I would say Andrew's right, basically both. And yeah, and to clarify, CBDC, central bank digital currency, it's not just like it's not going to be the same thing as like a stable coin or anything like that. If it's on its own chain, right? And the whole point and purpose of it is to be all those coins, I guess you can call them. I don't know if they're going to be tokens or coins or not, because there is a difference for people who don't know. But owned, issued, and controlled by the Federal Reserve / federal government, right? And that's the point that is kind of like scary. It's not some kind of like company. It's a privately owned company, which, if it was just one privately owned company, that's a problem too. But I think I would rather probably trust like Circle or like Tether than like the Fed. I don't know. What do you guys think about that?
I mean, I guess okay. So trusting the question is trusting a private company versus trusting the government, right, or the Fed itself.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I guess it's a different thing, right? I mean, technically, we're trying to separate the Fed from the government, but a private company on some level should have incentive to please their customer. Now, the problem is sometimes the customer is the government. Then there's a fucking problem, right? When you're Boeing or Lockheed or Raytheon and your customer is the government, and you're getting paid for those missiles and other things they're sending over to the Ukraines, that creates a conflict of interest, right? But if you're somebody who's providing like a Circle or a Tether, and you're mainly providing to other private parties, to individuals, you want to please them. You want to make your product good. You want to make your product useful. And that's an interesting tension. And what we're seeing more and more, especially from the regulation and legal side, is you're seeing these companies being captured by the government, just like they do in the CCP.
Yep.
Yeah, with just like they kind of been doing over here for like the last like 70 years, but more so over there.
More now, yeah. I mean, we're not on that level. I mean, like as much as where we can say it like hyperbolically, and it's true, like it's becoming more true. We're not on that level. They have a party apparatus appointee in every single company. I mean, even small companies, you have a liaison. Even if you don't have to put them on the payroll, you have to have somebody in the party. So that's how intense China is. We're not there yet, but we may be. We're going in that direction.
That's very dangerous. That's very that's scary. The idea of having a pointed snitch in your payroll out of your own pocket, that's kind of terrifying.
Yep.
My take on this. Go ahead.
I was going to say, if we have a CBDC, do they even need to put people in companies? They can just see everything financially, right?
Yeah, they see the whole point of a CBDC is to see everything you do. So literally, when Yin goes to buy a comic, it's like they're going to be like, "Oh, I see that. Oh, you're buying that misogynistic issue from back in the day. What you really need, Yin, we'll send you for free the woke Captain America who's making out with Superman behind the dumpster and transitioning to the proper gender. I mean, they're going to do all of that."
That's a question for you, Andrew.
This is off the wall. Okay. It depends on what your objectives are. Like, I would need to know a lot about what your specific life looks like. It depends, which is the legal answer for everything. Every fucking swarmy lawyer is going to say it depends. But here's why. I'll tell you why.
True.
I'll tell you why. Because if you're an average Joe, then maybe renouncing is not the best solution for you. And there's a lot of good places in America. I would advise moving within America. However, if you're certain high net worth individuals, it starts the calculus starts to change. If you have a high net worth, the calculus starts to change, and then you might be able to think of, okay, how can I get access to the country without having to deal with global taxation? So, for example, there's only 2 countries in the world that tax you no matter where you live: United States of America and Eritrea. And if you guys don't know where Eritrea is, I'm not blaming you. It's a small fucking country that has Chinese and U.S. military bases. That's their whole economy, is military bases and people paying for those. And they were a break off of Ethiopia. That's it. Every other country only taxes you when you're in their country physically. So there's a huge advantage for high net worth individuals to say, you know what, I'm gonna earn my money abroad, not be taxed on it, and have citizenship somewhere else that doesn't tax me like that. There's a different calculus. Also, there's a lot of places that don't care about dual citizenship. So I think having that as a backup never hurts. That's something I would say. If you have a residency or a citizenship as a backup, that is great, because then you've got a escape plan. You've got something else to do. There's lots of different options on that. I'm not going to go into this on this video, but I will make videos on that. Myself.
Hey, I have a question for you though. Isn't it almost okay? Even if you do renounce your citizenship, you basically still have to pay taxes to the U.S. Right?
No. Here's what you have to do. Okay, so yes and no. Here's what it is. So first of all, they have to accept your renunciation. So they can actually reject it, which is crazy. They can say, no, we don't accept that. So they can do that. But before you leave, before they'll accept it, one of the conditions is you've paid all of your taxes, including anything for that year up to date, because you're always filing in arrears. You're always filing for the past year. So you have to pay whatever you owe to the date of renunciation. So that's part of it. So you can't, for example, I can't shirk my taxes and evade my taxes and run around to Dubai and everywhere else and not pay, and then say, oh yeah, I want to renounce. They're going to say, no, we're not allowing you to renounce. We're going to try to get you extradited and try to get you sent back to the United States and thrown in jail for tax evasion. Because that is the IRS is in the money. Once again, this is why we talk about money so much. Why is it that they protect money? They prosecute these crimes unlike anything else. Mm-hmm. Why is it that we are so focused on this? When we could stick our fucking taxes on a postcard, we could simplify it and stick it on a postcard with an income tax. Make it so simple you could do it just by putting in a couple numbers and that's it. We could also have a flat tax easily, a VAT like Europe.
That's what I'm for, is a flat tax. But people have told me I'm crazy for that. But speaking of the IRS and taxes,
other countries have it. Why is it crazy? It's insane. It's insane when people say,
don't you know Uncle Sam? They need their money, okay? Uncle Sam's got to put bread on the table too, all right? Yeah. They need all the money. But all jokes aside, though,
and by the way, Danielle brought up a good point, which is very true, which is there aren't a lot of gun-friendly places to go. That's true. If you're a 2A person, which is her comment right above that, it's kind of very true that there's not a lot of gun-friendly places. This is actually a very good point. And having traveled the world, having been a lot of places, there are very few places, and the places that are gun-friendly are usually unsafe. So you don't have this nexus of relative safety and gun-friendliness. It actually is when the safety goes up, you're more likely to prohibit guns. Now, you could say that, hey, the country is safe enough, right? Let's say, for example, if we're talking about Japan, across the straits here for me in Korea, even here in Korea, by the way, same situation applies. Relatively isolated country, it's hard to kind of smuggle guns in, right? Australia, hard to get guns in and out. So you might say, okay, I feel relatively safe that the person who's confronting me in Japan probably doesn't have a gun. And by the way, whenever I see a gun here in Korea, because some of the people at the banks can have them, like to protect the bank, they're these old ass revolvers, these crusty fucking 1920s revolvers that I'm like, that shit looks like it's about to fall apart.
Ancient.
Yeah, probably like the 1 out of 6 shots actually works.
Yeah, I'm ready to karate chop this guy like before he can draw this on me. Like literally, like my kung fu skills are going to be better. It's really hilarious, but it's really safe. So you might say, okay, well the safety level is at such a point which I feel I don't need this. However, you're giving up that right. And whenever you do give up that right, the one thing is, and we've seen this around the world, the governments feel empowered to be tyrannical. And we saw this in Australia. We're seeing this in other places. They're feeling themselves.
I want to talk about that. I want to talk about that tonight too, because I wanted to see y'all's opinion on that. But what I was going to say was, speaking of the IRS and money and taxes, if the CBDC, or really when it's deployed and put out, not saying that they're going to do this, but theoretically speaking, and also I want to add this too before saying that, like they can implement stuff before, during, after it's issued. So like just because when it comes out that it seems like it's all good and safe and fine doesn't mean that everything's all hunky dory. I just want to add that. But if it's a digital asset based off a blockchain and it's ran from smart contracts, I mean, they can just like tax you whatever they think that you owe them for taxes. So let's just say, I don't know, you commit some kind of wrong speak. You did bad speak. Okay, Andrew, you did bad speak on YouTube. Yeah. And minus 25 good boy tokens have been deducted from your wallet just because they feel like they want to do that.
Yep.
Not cool, right?
That's the fear. That's the big fear from me on this stuff, because they're already doing stuff all the time, with regular.
So
yeah, no, they are.
Technically, okay, now I'm going to tell you the legal and the reality, right? So
Right.
technically, legally, this is the law. Technically, you need due process before deprivation of life, liberty, or property. Money is property. Technically, they should give you some due process. And hopefully, once again, I'm using these words very intentionally. Hopefully, you would imagine that there would be some sort of due process. However, if we don't fight back, we don't push back, we don't, make sure that these rights are asserted, which is what I talk about on my channel, which is why I cover these topics. And by the way, pushing back, fighting back has been super effective. Like This is the psychic move against the ghost type Pokemon. This is like just wiping them out right now. This is some fire on your Bulbasaur, right?
Yep.
It is really, really effective to call this stuff out, to expose it, to protest against it, to the truckers. We saw very super effective at changing policy. And people on the internet like us, this communities are becoming super effective at spreading these messages and getting these things stopped. This whole thing, I covered it today, the Don't Say Gay bill. They're getting destroyed on this because people are exposing it as bullshit. They're saying, no, it is just don't program kindergarten through third graders to be LGBTQ++, or put your crazy agenda in their head.
Yep.
In the same way, if they were going to, let's say, have CBDCs, hopefully we would say, no, IRS, you need to go through a hearing. You need to have a process. You cannot just deduct stuff without some sort of procedure. Now, if you're a really bad boy, Josh, let's say you're doing something real bad boy, like which they, once again, they qualified the truckers as, essentially terrorists. They qualify them as terrorists in Canada. If we adopt similar laws to that, then you're fucked, because then you're going to get your good boy tokens taken out immediately. You're going to have your stuff shut down. And what are you going to do? You better have gold and cash, and they better be willing to transact in gold and cash or barter. How many bullets do you have? Have those been taken from you? What do you got to trade? Very, 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 very interesting.
Right. And that's why I'm so like heavy on like, the whole Bitcoin thing. Cause like the truth is, and I know both y'all's channels are pretty libertarian, like mine too, right? And I know you guys personally too.
Small L, not big L. I always say that
Yeah.
because the fucking Libertarian Party is a goddamn mess.
Yeah. The party's weird.
It's a mess. It's a mess. It's why it's like
whenever Libertarian, the word, not the party. But
I like the idea,
word, not the party. The concept is not the party. Is fine. I'm even okay with anarchy. I actually met somebody who was talking about anarchy. I'm like, what, the concept I'm okay with, but the practicality often doesn't work out because there's certain things that
I can agree with that.
Institutions like basic institutions like national defense, you need collective defense. An individual will never be able to, individual human can never defend against a group of humans. That's a proven strategy since the beginning of time, right? If you got 6 guys with sticks, the one guy with a stick, even if he's the boss, is going to have to sleep at some point. And then he's going to get speared in his sleep.
Yeah.
The 6 people can take turns and take shifts and, guard stuff. So stuff like that, roads are something everybody uses. Is better if you pay for a road. So small government, for sure, there's some things that are good for a collective good for society. I'm okay with that. But, the concepts of individual power, that's where the core of the power should lie. And I think that's where kind of anarchy and libertarianism can agree, is that the power is resting with the individual, ultimately.
The thing with these CBDCs, though, like, let's just say you don't care if someone commits wrong speak, because right now, whoever, like, current party that's in power, or current people with current beliefs that are in power, you align with their ideologies and their thinking. So you're like, I don't care if people that say something bad to gay people get their money taken from them. That's fine, and you might not care.
Or conversely, because the party will change, right? If it's Trump coin, how are you going to change if it's Trump coin, right? Are you going to be okay with Trump coin? Because remember, I'm going to be real. It was Trump Vax too in the beginning. Remember, like, he was the one pushing it. So I don't think Trump would. I mean, this is my personal opinion, maybe controversial, but I don't think he's going to take a much different stance on the CBDC than Papa Joe. Now, maybe there'll be a little bit in terms of the businesses, in terms of regulation, stuff like that. Maybe a little bit of a different approach. But do I think the CBDC is still being developed under Trump if he wins the next election? Yeah, I don't think that.
Either way, dude, it could be fucking Jesus Christ himself. I don't want anyone control over my money, right? Yeah. Nobody should be able to do that, which is why things like Bitcoin are so important. That's the only thing other than gold.
So here's the argument I got. This is actually on my.
Let's hear it. I'm ready.
No, not my argument. It's actually Nick Ricada on his channel. He brought up this argument, which is, here's the problem. Maybe you guys have a solution. Is the average person does not know how to peer-to-peer. How do we solve that problem? How do we solve the average person not knowing how to peer-to-peer and being shut out when the exchanges go down?
How did the average person in 1991 go from not knowing how to send an email to, in 2022, having like 15 different emails being the norm? Because
corporations, government, and everything else used it. And because when everybody used it, they knew how to do it.
That wave of money that's going to come inevitably, if and I believe this is true, if the game theory behind it does end up continuing, because it has continuing to play out the way that it is, corporations are already there.
Explain the game theory. Explain the game theory for people, because they may not understand that. Because that's the thing about you, Josh. You're so intelligent that, like, you already know the answer. But for everybody in the chat, like, what's the game theory? Explain the game.
Okay, so proof of work. You guys know the difference between proof of work and like proof of stake on blockchain, right?
Right.
So what the Federal Reserve note is it's proof of war. Okay, proof of war, meaning that us as the United States, we go into your country, we beat you up, we make you buy and sell oil with our dollar because we proved our power through our war, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The only problem with that is with the dollar, they can just create as much as they want. And it's just one entity that's creating it, right? Proof of work is different because almost anybody who has the ability to get access to machinery and an internet, which in theory is everybody, right? And that there is an argument there too, but I could talk about that later. But in theory, that's everybody. So everybody on the entire planet, even Elon Musk with his satellites in space running fucking Bitcoin nodes, has the ability to be plugged into the system and to provide for it and to take from it, right? 21 million cap. We don't have Like you don't. There's the ability to just like print however much you want with the U.S. dollar. It's just not there, right?
Well, and that's going away quickly. By the way, the game there is changing because we were able to print so much as a global currency, but now that we've literally cut out, and we're about to cut out maybe a third of the world's population, if China, Russia, and India all drop, our level of ability to launder those dollars. I mean,
it's playing out literally. Like it's playing out everything as it's been like proclaimed to be, right? It's kind of funny, but
no, not. And by the way, Harry said they're considering selling oil. No, they are in some cases.
They said didn't they?
They're already selling oil in yuan.
What did the ice cream man say about that? No comment, right?
There's no comment. He's not commenting on it. I mean, it's only a loss for him. It's only an L. Like anything he says on it.
I'll tell you why. It's because good old Papa Klaus doesn't. Papa Klaus wants it all to go to shit anyway. Because that's what's going on right now, guys. Y'all don't understand that with all this going on.
Does that benefit the WEF? Because WEF only controls the West. It doesn't control China. It doesn't control Russia.
I don't think that they control them, but I think that they were in bed with. Okay, so for example, Putin, dude, he was like one of Klaus's little henchmen, and now he's been removed from. He was part of like the youth group or whatever, and now he's removed from the website. And you can go back to way back. They had some kind of like
the WEF youth.
I'm calling it a youth group because I'm being facetious, but they have some kind of like young leaders of the world.
Yep.
I'm just imagining like a youth pastor there with like everybody loves the banks.
Klaus the pastor with his black robe.
Oh my god, dude, that's so dark.
But to finish thinking about the game theory though, so everyone has to, in order for this to work out, okay, because 21 million Bitcoin, although it's infinitely divisible. You know, this you can divide it into 120 million Satoshis, and technically we could divide each Satoshi up even further. Mm-hmm. And I guess people don't know what a Satoshi is. That's like a part of a Bitcoin. Okay,
the lowest denomination, at least the ones that we transact then normally, is a Satoshi.
Yeah, but with Bitcoin, you can't just do what we did with Russia and just like, all right, we sanction you guys, we're cutting you off of SWIFT. You can't do that, right? Mm-hmm. You also can't print more. You also can't steal it from people. So if essentially the game theory is to just, if everyone wants to be able to sustain a nice, happy, healthy life, everyone's going to have to either like work together, because I can't just go and kill you and take your Bitcoin, right? You could just have your seed phrase memorized, and if you die, it's gone. And that actually ends up getting worse for me.
Yeah, but that's the thing for you. For most people, they're not going to. I mean, shit, Josh. So most people can barely remember somebody else's phone number. Right? Yeah. If you like told me like Yin's phone number, I probably wouldn't remember it. A fucking seed phrase, like you. I mean,
well, that's why you write it down. You do whatever with it.
You write it down. Exactly, and you can put it somewhere, and you can put it several places, right? You can put it several places, or give it to several people, or whatever. Like some way to make it more resilient. You can do that for sure. Klaus said we would own nothing and be happy. Yes. Own nothing. Yes. There's some statements up here I want to catch, make sure I don't miss them. Ryan Dole says, is the U.S. government going to start their own version of social credit? That's what this sounds like to me. Yeah, this is. I
hope not.
This is definitely. Well, it's on the track of social credit. It's down that road of social credit. Once you go down the road of CBDC, to add social credit to it, it's just a layer, right? It's like an L2, right, Josh? Onto the social credit. And then Chris said earlier,
go ahead.
No, yeah, that's this other one was like, this is just a quick question Chris had said earlier, which was, do other countries also have 4 or 5 different levels of government taxing 5 different taxes each?
I saw that question too.
That one I was, okay, this is also, Chris, this is also another huge difference with the United States. But here's the thing. There are other countries that tax different levels, like a federal and a state level, and sometimes a city level. But the problem is the U.S., there's so many different taxes. It is too burdensome. There's too burdensome. Having to pay your income tax, then your real estate tax, then your licensing tax for your business, then your local sales tax, then your local use tax, then your school district taxes. It's a lot. And you lose efficiency when you have all these entities doing it. There should be some streamlining. Although I do like local being better, because you tend to have more control over it, and it tends to be less giant political issues like climate change and more like, okay, are we going to build a school? Are we going to pave a road?
Are we gonna get rid of those murderers that are in town or whatever? It's all,
very objective, more objective than the ambiguous shit the federal government is doing. It just, the more layers you go up, the more it becomes removed from reality, more removed from practicality.
Britt Cormier says, "Can you pay taxes with it? Until you can pay taxes, the government can always regulate." Yes, you can pay taxes with Bitcoin in Florida, Texas, Arkansas. And there's there's probably like 10 or 15 other states. And
just
in
the state taxes,
too.
though. Just the state taxes.
Just
though,
the
right?
state taxes.
Not
and
the
good old
taxes.
Louisiana, back where I'm from too. And, honestly, it'd be more advantageous to them if you did pay taxes in Bitcoin as opposed to the dollar. You best believe they want that shit. Guys, I'm gonna be right back. I'm going to go get another high noon.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, man.
No
It's high noon.
They want
a tree over here.
They
Got
want
Overwatch streaming.
They Overwatch streaming.
Yeah,
Yo, they want your wallet too. Trust me. If you have your Bitcoin wallet out there, they're gonna want that. They're gonna want that.
I mean, what do you recommend, Yin, for keeping like your stuff safe and keeping it protected and avoiding the fuckery?
So there's a couple layers. I call it the layers. The first layer, of course, the most protective, right, of your stuff you want to have is make sure you have some sort of cold storage wallet. I don't care. It's expensive. Yep, I understand. Spark 55 says Josh Rugg. He'll be back. I promise.
He'll be back. These guys don't know how to just like turn off the camera, because every other channel, what they do, Yin, is they just like do this, like watch.
Oh,
and they stay on. So you guys actually like leave the stream. You're like has exited the chat, which is like it's just a hard exit.
Yeah, it's a hard exit.
He'll be back.
I'm a big fan of the hard exit. But anyways, you gotta. That's terrible. I know.
Oh man,
I gotta stop.
He's talking about how he does these hoes cold. He's like, "Yo, I'm out. Hard exit."
That's too much. But in all seriousness, though, make sure you have yourself a cold storage wallet. I don't care if it's a Ledger, a Trezor. I'm not advocating for anyone. Just get one, okay? Don't steal one. Get one.
No.
Actually, no. Wait. I care.
Though.
Get a Trezor. I don't have the link right now.
Trezor's good.
But there's going to be, if you're watching this on the repeat, there's going to be a link in the description. You guys can actually get a discount if you get a Trezor, okay? It's better. Trust me. Go ahead.
Is that your Klaus cap right there?
Yes, I am now Klaus. Look, just friends, eat the bugs and take the CBDC, okay? That's all I have to say. Yin, you can continue, okay? I'm sorry.
I was going to say, yeah, I personally use Trezor. I'm a big fan of Trezor. Ledger has one other issue, but I don't like to FUD on public. I do it in private. I'm a private FUDster. If you want
private FUDder.
Yeah, that's right. I like to FUD in private. No, but in all seriousness, so get yourself a Trezor, and then for that, you want to, in association with that, is you're gonna have yourself a bunch of like MetaMask, what I would call filters. I call them filters. You want to have a bunch of different types of MetaMask accounts, or rather wallets, each one for a different purpose. If you want to play around with altcoins, you're going to have one for that, okay? And some people do it one for each token. That's up to you. You decide for yourself what do you want to do. And what I like to do is I like to send the coins to wherever I'm getting, whatever I'm planning on keeping. Like if it's ETH or Bitcoin or whatever, even if it's a stable coin, I like to send it. There's two options. You can do it two ways. You can send it to your wallet, to your MetaMask, your safe MetaMask wallet, and then send that to your personal Trezor, or you can send it through an exchange. And then that way, nothing's going to rug in your Trezor. Nothing is going to get hacked. You're just trying to figure out a filter. That's all you're trying to do, is make sure that you filter any sort of way that, because a lot of these wallets, unfortunately, a lot of people get rugged. A lot of people get rug pulled, which is when people's wallets get hacked.
But there's big ones that are doing, and to the too complicated point. I mean, look, I'm pretty tech retarded. I'm literally pretty tech retarded. You guys know that. You guys who watch my stream, my viewers here can confirm that I am like boomer level tech retarded.
You're not that bad, but I've seen worse. But
the point is that if I can figure it out, you can figure it out. I use these things, and they're literally so simple. If you use online banking, you can figure this out. It sounds complicated. You know why? Because it's using a lot of words and jargon. And that's the thing with a lot of this, the thing with the crypto community too, is they use a shit ton of slang. And
Rug.
it makes it sound, like rug and, even wallet. People aren't used to it. They're like, what? But it really is that easy. It's as easy as logging into your bank.
I would say to make, I'm on the same, process as Yen, but I would say to make it like less complicated for normal friends, think of it like your email account. So if you have one email that when you go to the store and they're like, hey, can we have your email to sign up for this? You're not going to give them your fucking personal email, right? You're going to give them like that, the level 2 burner email or whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe you have like 2 or 3 or 4 emails that you use. And then your personal email, that's where like your riches are at. That's where your your life savings is at. And then maybe you got like an email that you just give to those fuckers. Maybe you got 2 or 3 others, just like that,
Your big booties, bigbootybitches.com email,
Yeah, that's right.
That one's going to be the one that gets all the spam.
Busty Bell 69.
Yeah. And by the way, someone's talking about ammo. Yeah. I the thing is that people always, I think the thing is like with anything, with like Bitcoin, gold, whatever, guns, people say, oh, well, just this. Well, no, why not both? Why not have both? Especially if you're in America, especially if you have the right to do it. Why not own guns, get ammo? That's fine. You should do that. If you're in America, I have guns and ammo in America too, right? They're there. I have as much as I need or would need, at my place in the United States. And, my family has access to that. They know exactly where my stuff is. And you can also have Bitcoin, right? Like, why do you have to just have one? And I also have gold. Oh my God, crazy that I have gold too. Small amount, not as much as I have other stuff, but dip your toes in. Yeah, dip your toes in.
Yep. Like anything else.
And then Harry asked if I'm coming back to the United States. I will be back May 25th to June 10th for sure. I may also be back in April. And maybe in the future I will be back. For now, liking the Asian sensations over here. Having a little bit too much fun maybe. But yeah, I'll be back.
Dude, you don't like the Russian flavor?
Oh my God, that's Miami, bro. You see what Putin said too? He was like, I don't blame people for having a villa in Miami, but we don't deal with gender identity here. You want that? You stay there.
Did he say that?
He said that shit.
I did see that, dude.
He said that shit. And I'm like,
I laughed.
Oh,
Not gonna lie.
Okay. Ammo is his shit's at the fan Bitcoin. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
Yeah,
and the worst
there you
case
go.
scenario, you need money, you can flip some of your ammo. So
And you hope you never need it.
Or you could just use it,
And go out shooting. I mean, it's fun as hell.
True.
I remember I was trying to take Josh out to shoot and I couldn't find shotgun shells because it was like sold out everywhere at the stores in Florida. I was like, what the fuck? I thought you could buy it at the range. The range is like, we don't even sell it anymore. Because
all dried up, homie.
Yeah, that's how bad it is with ammo, the situation. I don't know if it's gotten better. You guys can tell me.
I think ever since he got elected, it was that was it.
Still a little dry, but it's not as bad. I've got a bit of everything except crypto. Only so much to spin around and don't want to be too thin. So I went with gold instead. So just one thing. And look, listen, I don't have to shill Bitcoin because it doesn't fucking matter if you're going to buy it or not because all the Fortune 500 companies have been and are buying it. So I don't need you to buy it. I'm telling this to you.
I think JP Morgan is about to make an announcement too that they're buying they have bought massive positions because they already are.
They already got it too, but I'm just telling this to you because I'm assuming you're one of Andrew's guys. I'm trying to help you. If you can start out, if you're a U.S. citizen and you have a social security number, you can go purchase it on Cash App and you can buy literally increments of just $1 at a time if you want. When you're done with it, when you get to that level to where you can self-custody, because that's probably going to take a while, then you can send it off a Cash App. But you buy it Cash App with it's like a 11-cent fee. It's like the cheapest fee out there if you're buying Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And you can just, press 2 buttons. That's it.
I think Robinhood is pretty cheap too. I don't like Robinhood as a platform because of what they do with stocks and stopping trades and stuff like that. But I think in terms of, I've heard in terms of ETH and Bitcoin, the fees are very, very low.
The fees are good, but it's paper. It's paper Bitcoin.
I understand. I know, and I understand that. I'm just saying, let's say you only had $2,000, and if, for example, saying someone who got into gold, right? And by the way, like I said, I have gold. Right, I have my Cougarans and my Canadian fucking maple leaf bullshit. I've got all that stuff. But the price of a coin right now is $2,000. Okay, so instead of buying one more coin, let's say you already have a couple gold coins, you already have 2 or 3, just buy one ETH or Bitcoin, right? I mean, I would say at this point, not even one Bitcoin, but $2,000 worth of Bitcoin. and just let it sit in a wallet. And you can even pick one that, if you want to pick one that yields, it's great. If you don't, you want to let it sit in a Trezor, that's fine. I guarantee you'll get a 2x out of that. You're saying, and people saying gold 2x in only 40 years. Yeah, I mean, you'll get more gains out of the Bitcoin. But the gold is going to retain its value as well. I mean, the thing about gold is it's not going to lose value. It's not going to get you the gains, but it's definitely not going to lose value. So
Buffalo nickel.
Yeah, Buffalo.
Hey, dude, I went back to New Orleans this weekend. I actually brought home like some bags of Buffalo nickels.
Yeah,
I have them in the trunk of my car. So please don't come and actually, if you come.
Yeah. You don't have them. That's Minecraft. You got them in, right?
Right, in Minecraft. And of course, I wouldn't shoot you in real life. I would shoot you in I wouldn't defend myself in real life with a gun.
Right.
I would defend myself in Minecraft, obviously.
You know what's funny? They would call the Buffalo nickel racist today because it's got the Native American on the front of it.
Really?
Dude, this is the Tech Chief channel now, okay? Look, I'm 1.6% native, all right? I'm like 2 times percent more than more than Liz Warren, dude.
I can't wait to
I'm blacker
how are you?
because I'm 3% West African, so
I can't
solidarity.
We're all special people now, okay? We're all special now.
I can't wait to see you in a headdress. I know that's coming. That's
Oh.
coming. That headdress.
Oh yeah, it is. Oh yeah, it is.
And demonetized.
Exactly.
And taken off YouTube.
It's gonna be a great screenshot for me. It's gonna be.
Oh boy.
It is what it is.
That's the wrong speak. That if you commit, if you have they have the CBDC guys, they're gonna freeze you, take your money, goodbye.
As soon as you put on the headdress, they're gonna ban you.
It's gonna be the screenshot they use to take my CBDC. So what's this, Yin? Huh? You're on the screen with this guy. It is what it is. I have a quick question about the policy making for CBDCs. What about the state? Do you think it's possible for states to in the future start making policies specifically to CBDCs for their citizens? Like once they do.
I think that here's the thing. First of all, the federal government is going to try to exercise control over it. I think from a legal standpoint, from a currency standpoint, in terms of the constitutional standpoint, the federal government is going to have more authority on it. However, the federal government could delegate that authority. And if you have a right-leaning government, right, or a Republican government, I think they would lean towards more state control over things like that and allow the states to do different programs. And frankly, I actually don't have a problem with that. I have less of a problem with the states being one of the legal concepts I talk about is based in the Constitution and based in the principle that states are supposed to be laboratories of laws. So I think the states should have wide latitude to try crazy shit. So if they want to try some sort of like L2, like a welfare token or something else like that, they want to like if California wants, instead of giving out food stamps and food coupons, they give out this woke welfare token. Woke welfare token. And they allow people to cash that in for whatever they want for food or whatever else. Instead of giving them paper, instead of giving them stickers, that could maybe save them money. Now I think it's a bad idea from a policy standpoint, but they should be allowed to do that.
There also might be some token that comes out that does that. Don't ask me.
No, don't. That's nothing. I know nothing about that at all. But what I'm saying is that, like, just as an example, you could also have them have good boy tokens, like social credit tokens, and for doing the policy of the state. Now, those could vary wildly. Maybe, you get a token for learning how to shoot in Texas, and in California, you get one for going to diversity propaganda camp. Training. God. Maybe you do. God. And maybe they give you something for free. You get a free iPhone if you get that. How they replace the drugs, though?
What you mean?
Well, are you talking about like incentivize you to get off of drugs? You could do that, right? In California, you could, or wherever, you could say, "Hey, if you stop smoking crack, then we're gonna give you some good boy tokens."
Here's a good point. Harry Maguire says most money is already digital anyway. Yes, he's right. Right. So what do we benefit from going to a central bank digital currency where they have a smart contract on top of it, where then they can do everything? Like you don't gain any benefit from a CBDC. All the benefit that you'd get from a CBDC, instant sending, etc. We already have that.
Chris is saying it too, right there. With the insurance companies already do that. Where if you go to gyms, annual physical, other things, and if you engage in bad boy activities like skydiving or whatever, you get bad boy points.
Right.
They already do it. So this is just like a higher layer that's going to have all that data in it. Like how do you behave? Are you a risk or are you not risk? Right.
It's just another layer of control, man. It's eat the bugs, own nothing, be happy.
And fuck the insurance companies, but I mean that's a separate.
Yeah, no, 100% fuck the insurance companies.
1000%.
Right.
Yep.
We can make a whole stream on that.
Yep.
That's a whole separate stream that you bring up the data and be like, fuck this, fuck this, fuck this, fuck this. But yeah, that's a whole separate stream, bro. Big stream and big problem behind our medical costs and other industrial costs are due to these fucking insurance companies.
I'm a little concerned as well as far as like swapping. I wonder what they're gonna do. I have a feeling that I just think of myself as like, what would I put myself in their shoes? Like if I'm a bad guy, what would I do? And one of the things, yeah, exactly.
Not a bad guy. You're a good guy. You're a good guy.
A good guy. Yeah. If I'm a policy making employee, what would I do? Right. So I think to myself like, stopping people from swapping or making limits to the amount of, value you can swap out of, CBDCs into like stable coins and, other types of crypto. Like it doesn't even matter. ETH, Bitcoin, especially having higher limits or lower limits based on whatever the token is. So I think that might be a possibility in the future just because they can dictate that through the exchanges. They can say, hey, don't let anybody with CBDCs do XYZ after 50%,
Yeah. They'll give you, they're going to have to, it's kind of funny because you're right, Yin. They're going to have to do two things, which is going to be weird. They're going to have to, on one hand, regulate them because that's their goal, right? They need to regulate, track, and you're exactly right. They need to see when you swap them out. Like there might be a duty of regulation, like, okay, if you swap it out, you have to track the transaction and report it, right? But they've got to at some point incentivize it. So they've got to offer some yield. So they've got to have like some way you can yield on this bitch that's more than inflation. Because if you can't yield on this bitch, then there's no reason to go into it.
Yeah, but are they going to be able to let everybody yield like 20% APY? Like, because that's like the bare minimum now in like stable coins. Like,
but there's got to be an incentive because otherwise there are going to be people that are saying, "Well, I'm just going to hold cash."
Or they're just going to hold stable coins, right?
Yes.
Right.
You can't get that. You can't get that much yield on cash, can you?
Depends on what you're doing. I mean, if you have illegal activities, you damn well sure can.
Wow.
If you put it into a business, you damn well sure can. If you are, investing it in something that is a, business related venture, you can do that. So, anyways, it depends.
Yeah. But can the average normal friend click a button and get 20%?
No, fuck no. Right? No way. That's the whole point about crypto is it's like literally you click a button and you're now making 20, 30, 40% yield.
Yeah.
10% at least, which is going to beat inflation, or 15% or something like that. I'll beat inflation.
Yeah.
Yep.
At a minimum.
The scariest part about it though isn't just the fact that they can like go and take your stuff, right? In all honesty, to me, the scariest part about it is that they have complete and total transparency over everything, right? I think that blockchains like Bitcoin, like Ethereum, it's like the perfect balance of transparency. Everything's public, right? But there's no names or anything associated with any of those addresses unless you yourself decide to give that information out, right? With this other stuff, not only can the government see everything, if they decide to end up making a publicly accessible, and if they have their own chain, then I don't know. Maybe like companies can see that you bought a porno magazine when you were 16 one time, and they're not going to hire you.
Seriously, and they cannot hire you. Yeah, no, you're right though. You're not wrong. They can check your history and your buying history and say, I don't want to buy you. I mean, look, if you applied for the FBI, right, they're going to put you under a lie detector test. There's certain things that if you've done, they're not going to take you. You are definitely the most based guava farmer, Josh.
Thank you. School too. What if it's you're a 16-year-old kid, you buy something, I don't know, you buy alcohol on your card, and the colleges are gonna
no. That's too tame. Now they're gonna say in schools we want only people who are super woke to teach the kids.
Oh,
woke propaganda. So I see, Josh, you have a YouTube channel here. And I see you talked about freedom. Well, that's a no-no word. Where we're from. So we're gonna take you off here. We're gonna mark this on the chain. And yeah, you're a no-no guy. We only have only people who are supporting current thing. Unless you have and by the way, how many good boy tokens do you have from supporting current thing?
Oh,
not many left. Not many left.
You don't
now.
have enough. You don't have enough. Therefore, I'm sorry, you're just not qualified, Josh. Your good boy tokens are not enough for supporting current thing. So therefore, we're not going to hire you. And that's how, and by the way, that's how they frame it. The way to legally get around it is to frame it not by we're not hiring you because the bad thing is that we're hiring you because the good thing. We're hiring this other person because the good thing.
Yeah,
so
they can leverage whatever current thing. But they can just leverage society, and society will, dude, in all honesty, society will probably be cool with it. Nobody's going to complain, right?
No,
it's the mask. It's the mask on planes effect.
Yep.
Right. People, everybody, even the R's, even that, and they were clapping when the people were dragged off who weren't wearing a mask.
Yep.
This is another thing too.
And by the way, guys, I don't know if you heard this. Britain, and I didn't announce. I should have told this on my channel because I talk about this shit. But Britain just dropped their mask mandate on all their flights.
So I saw that. Look,
United States
right after this, right after we talk to this about this guy's comment, I want to ask you a question. Both you guys a question. About,
and yeah, we'll talk that. But Chris, this is a good comment.
Yeah, another thing is, guys, if it's not you, what if like 2 or 3 people or 4 or 5 people removed from you that have been doing transactions with you, like your dad's friends, mother's, brother's, sister's cousin, and they committed wrong thing, and now you're frozen.
Oh
right?
my God.
Because they were doing that with the people on exchanges and the truckers. Yep.
They're doing it with the truckers. They were doing their second and third degree of connections, which is so fucked up. And by the way, United States, that's like taking a bukkake on due process. That is like so degraded. It is beyond it's unacceptable. And by the way, this is what happens when countries don't have a fucking constitution, which as much as once again, every country has pros and cons, right? America has pros and America has cons. Big pro, guns and constitution. Con, taxation, right? Like every place has this. States have this as well, pros and cons, right? But the level of control that Canada was able to exercise should terrify people. And should terrify people because that's where the left, that's where the progressives want to go. That's where the WEF wants to go. They want to take away your due process. They hate due process. They hate it.
Right.
Yeah.
So the question I had for both you guys, even though apparently Putin killed the Koof, but now all of a sudden there's lockdowns in China again. Is that true?
Yes. Because China is still, and I know a lot about this because clearly I can see China from my window. Actually, no, but being for real though, fuck China. This air quality shit in Seoul, I was like, I get it. You have bad air quality. No, bro, it is real fucking bad, and it's because of China. Like 100,000%.
Seriously?
Yes, the air quality here can sometimes be like, I'm like, oh, is that fog? Is that like, because I grew up I spent a lot of time in the Smoky Mountains, went up there as a kid. I lived there for a while. The fog was beautiful to roll in over the mountains. South Korea is kind of a mountainous country. And they're like, no, that's the fucking trash air quality. And you'll see like a yellow film from the yellow dust, like resting on stuff outside. You're like, ooh, that's no bueno.
No.
So China is demented, and they are still pursuing Katana Zero, as you say, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Katana Zero. They are now many other countries that originally were pursuing this policy have abandoned it. Have Australia, New Zealand, I think even Taiwan. They've said this is not a realistic strategy with Optimus Prime variant, right? With the Optimus Prime variant, it's not even Korea. They've said, at this point they're relaxing the restrictions. I got footage going out last night, which was fucking awesome. I got some really great vlogging footage I'm going to post going out, and people are starting to go out again because they realize that everybody's getting the Optimus Prime variant and they're kind of okay, right? If you're young and you're healthy, you're fine. That's just what I'll say without getting the channel in trouble. But China has such a stigma that they are literally sending people to camps for getting the Optimus Prime variant, and they can't stop it.
That's true. I saw that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And by the way, they were doing that before. But here's the problem with China. They dug in on it. They dug in on their policy, and everybody in China believes. I used to have when I was in Miami. I don't know if you ever met the Chinese girl I was seeing down there, Josh. But her dad was a party member in the CCP, and they were stigmatizing getting corona so hard. Like somebody who got corona was worse than AIDS. It was like, no, literally.
Yeah, I believe it.
They believed that if you got it, you are permanently damaged for life.
Dude, well, we don't. We can.
No, I'm not saying whether that's true or not. I'm not trying to say whether it's true or not. All I'm saying is, this is all I'm saying, Josh. Being very clear. # not medical advice. They scared the shit out of people. So now they're having to follow through with that. And anybody that gets it, they're having to send them out because they've scared people shitless. And they can't backpedal on it. They've got to double down. Same, the Soviet Union did the same thing. With like Chernobyl, for example. They had to like double down on their bullshit and double down on their lies because they didn't want to expose that they fucked up. Yeah, that's why they're welding doors shut, because they literally have told people it's like World War Z. Like, you're going to fucking die. And like, you're going to be permanently damaged. Your dick's not going to work, by the way. I heard that one because No, literally. So this girl, I told her, I'm like, I think I got corona. And her mom asked, like, does his dick still work?
Like, dude, no. I would have been like, what the fuck kind of question is that?
Wow.
Yeah. I'm like, bro, like.
I'm speechless. It's such
Welcome
a
to the
different
channel.
world.
This is premium content, guys. Premium
I love
content.
it.
You only get this on the Redacted podcast. Only here.
I think, friends, if you guys are watching and still paying attention to us after our antics, seriously, guys, you don't have to believe me. And if you don't, that's totally fine. You can figure it out afterwards. But don't accept the CBDC. Don't let them do it, guys. Don't let them do it. Put up a fight. Say something. Call your local congressman. I don't know. They're probably still going to do it anyway. So let's just assume they're going to do it anyway. Buy Bitcoin. Buy Ethereum. Buy gold. Literally get out of the system, because what's going on right now, Klaus and them, it's going to hell in a handbasket. It's already over. It's actually already over. The United States is in prime position for a soft default. It's coming, dude. I'm calling it right now. Soft default coming. Oh no, everything's all fucked up. We got to reset everything. Everyone just and everyone's like have to pay $20,000 a month for rent. So don't you guys want to?
And they have a chance. And they're going to have a chance with the CBDC because we see this with Argentina. Any place with hyperinflation, they're going to have a chance to do a soft reset with the CBDC. So when inflation gets the dollar, $1 is equal to 10 cents. They can kind of reset with the CBDC. So yeah, I think Fallout Zone puts it right. This is very succinctly: prepare yourself financially. As long as you're prepared. Look, that's what I say on my channel. It's about being your own judge, making your own decisions. We can tell you one thing, but frankly, you should do what the fuck you feel comfortable doing for your own situation, for your family, for your people. If you have kids, if you're somewhere, you have kids, prepare yourself. Buy the ammo, buy the real estate, buy the property, right? Whatever you're doing, gold, crypto, whatever, just make sure you personally are prepared. I advocate shit hits the fan, be ready for 6 months to a year of just like, can you be relatively self-sustaining? I understand we're all going to have to go buy food, right? We're all going to have to go, we have to eat, we have to shit, we have to sleep. I get it.
I ate an MRE last night at 2 a.m. Don't remember.
How was it?
But I did. I don't remember it.
You don't remember? Have you ever eaten an MRE? There's some that are okay.
Yeah.
There's some
Yeah,
that are okay.
some are pretty good.
Yeah.
So,
I went through Katrina, bro. I ate plenty. I ate myself plenty of MREs.
I went through Katrina too, but when it hit Miami and I was at a hurricane party because it was only a category 1, and I was so drunk, Josh. So we had this hurricane party. But it was worse in Miami than I thought, and so many trees fell down that just to get home from this party, which was only like half a mile away from my house, I had to drive in people's yards around down trees. And right as I was
sounds about right.
Right.
Did you guys go swimming in the streets after?
Hold on though. We were about to, but right as I got out, there was a giant puddle, and I looked, and luckily I had a flashlight on me in my car. There was a down power line in the puddle that I almost stepped in.
Ooh.
Yeah, so be fucking careful, people. When you're raging, be careful. And that was one where the hypnotic, I was drinking hypnotic, and the hypno got released.
Wow.
Dude, speaking of being prepared, and Mr. Ryan Doles, his government is afraid what they can't control. Yes, they can. They are. And you know what, Ryan? The government can't control that goddamn Ford Bronco in your avatar. If you want to sell it, dude, send me a DM, please. I would definitely love to buy one from you right now.
Nice.
Give me some Bitcoin for it too.
Yeah, those are really in high demand too. Like, I mean, that's really really high demand. Super high demand. Cars are going to be in a high demand. Chips are going to be in a high demand. By the way, get your parts, get your stuff for your vehicles, be able to repair them. Learn how to, like, if you have a vehicle, learn how to service it, right? Yep. Learn what's your minimum that you need to service it at, because you may have to go without certain services for that car for a while. And that's the problem with these electric cars that they're simping for right now, is you've got to go to Tesla. You've got to go to this company.
That's part of the plan too, dude. That's part of the plan. They don't.
And by the way, they're treating it like a cell phone.
Yep.
The right to repair. We used to have the right to repair, which is that the car companies had to disclose the repair manuals to the companies. But what they're doing with these fucking EVs is they're saying it's software.
Look, you guys are just bigots. What do you mean you guys don't want to spend $60,000 immediately right now to buy an EV just because you don't like the price of gas? Come on. What's the problem with you guys? But the worst part about that is, how long does it take? Let's just say you need to like travel because you're in an emergency. How long is it how long does it take to recharge that thing? You got to travel cross country.
Yeah.
An hour? No, more like 12 hours, right? And is there like reliable amount of gas? Can you bring charging tanks with you to charge it? No, you can't. Right?
Cavalier's exactly right. Cavalier's exactly right here. What is Cavalier Outdoors? He says the less common user can service their car, the happier manufacturers are. Yes,
that's true.
Yeah.
They want you to be reliant on them.
You got to pay them,
and it's more. Yeah, there's no competition. It's more.
Ryan says, "Sorry, just found a photo online. Dude, get out my channel. I'm gonna ban you right now." I'm just kidding, dude.
Good taste though. Good car.
But yeah, no, I mean, battery disposal, Fallout says battery disposal. That's a huge one. And they never talk about that too. They never talk about the fact that it's going to create a bunch of batteries. They're going to have a way worse environmental effect than
where the electricity that's coming to charge it. Where is that coming from?
Coal. Fucking coal. Like, think about that for 2 seconds. We're literally regressing into a coal economy.
I did not know that.
Yes,
that's crazy.
The majority of the power in the United States is still supplied by fucking coal. A goddamn black rock from the ground. It's made of goddamn dinosaurs. We're burning that shit. We have the option.
We don't want to be like China and have like stinky atmosphere, right? I thought they cared about the planet, right?
I mean, our coal is cleaner than China's, right? They're burning like raw dog, right? They're just like no filter going in, giving you the environment, all sorts of STDs. But United States at least puts a filter on it. It wraps it before it spews it out into the universe.
The point is though, like they're trying to make it seem like it's this giant green thing, like it's coming from the solar energy. It's not. It's coming from non-renewable resources just as well. Like it's the same thing. So, and then you have to ask yourself, well, then why would they want you to? Surely these politicians and these people at the WEF, surely they would be smart enough to know those things, right? Which they're not stupid. They know that, right? So why are they pushing it on people?
It's control. It's all about that control. Yep.
And and to follow up brings a good point. Where are the minerals that go into solar panels? Where are they mined? Yeah. Conflict regions. A lot of them. Conflict regions. Not fun areas. Or Russia.
Oh man, this is a disaster.
Josh, you're muted, Bo. Can't hear you. That's what happens with that, baby. Nuclear is also a way to go. Also, the sun itself. Yeah, no, I no problem. And the thing is, we're not using modern nuclear. We're just so afraid of the disposal. In the NRC, the Nuclear Regulatory Commission, they're a bunch of fucking pricks. We really need to modernize that because we can build modern reactors that will never have the issues of Chernobyl, 3 Mile Island, or Fukushima. Those are really shitty old designs, and we can do better with our technology. We can build micro reactors.
We're burying those EV car batteries in the ground. It's basically like burying a bunch of nuclear sludge.
It might as well be. It's might as well be. And the power that you can get from a micro reactor is like insane.
Does China produce a large amount of rare earth minerals? Yeah, right.
Yes, they do. Thomas brought up thorium reactors. Yeah, thorium reactors can explode. Yep.
Well, fellas, I want to go to the bar. So, Andrew, A lot of these people here know you already.
I gotta go to brunch, man. I gotta go to brunch. I gotta gotta get my basic bitch on. Maybe get a chicken and a waffle. I don't know. We'll see what they have here in Korea. I'll probably film it. Probably put it up here for you guys to check out. But yeah, if you guys don't know me, why are you so breaded? Get unbreaded, get based, come over to my channel, Legal Mindset. You know me, put out lots of content. I may or may not have an alternate personality that may be showing up a little bit more named Adam Mindset. He'll be around. But that being said, really what you guys got to do, if you're not bigots, you need to smash the like button right now. If you hate Klaus, you do not want him in your bedroom and in your wallet, smash the like button right now. Subscribe to this guy, Tech Chief. I will be on his channel. We're going to rotate, right? We'll be on sometimes on his channel, my channel, Yin's channel. And then subscribe to this guy, Yin.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Yin. I run a channel called ZolYin, the ZolYin podcast. I'm going to be updating that RSS feed pretty soon. This week I was talking about, I don't even remember what I was talking about this week. A lot of stuff happened. A lot of, the banks canceling Russia. That's that whole thing.
What was it? YouTube just canceled Russia.
Oh, YouTube did too?
Today. Yeah.
Yep, today.
And also, did you guys hear that Brazil, the Brazil signed something in the Supreme Court of Brazil to ban Telegram in the entire country?
I didn't know that.
I'm not surprised.
I'll beam it to you guys right after this.
Yeah, send it to me. But yeah, no, I'm not surprised at all.
Me either.
Brazil's a weird fucking country. It's a weird country. It's like you got like the leader right now, Bolsonaro. They call him right wing, but he's not that right wing. The whole country in general is actually pretty socialist. I mean, to the point where they literally have, if you go there to pump your gas, you don't pump your gas. It's like an assigned government job where there's a gas pump.
Yeah. My ex told me about that.
Yeah, it's like that's the level of their socialism. So, it is what it is.
Mm.
Yep. And if you guys want to learn how to code specifically with smart contracts, developerdirection.com, guavalabs.io if you want some software, elivprogram.com, or actually now, guys, you can go to techchief.io if you want to get in contact with me. And that's it. And we were talking about Trezor earlier tonight. I actually got like a partnership with Trezor like 2 hours ago. I don't have the link yet, but I will put that in the description.
Awesome, bro.
If you guys buy a Trezor, which honestly it's better than a Ledger just because it's easier to use as a touchscreen. I will get probably like 1 Satoshi for it. So I'm really not going to get anything, but at least it'll help you guys and it'll make them like me more. So that's it. That's all we had tonight. We love you all. I'm going to go get just slightly inebriated at the bar, and that's it. See ya.